80% of your training should be slow, like just going out for a run. But then you include, like, if I'm doing intervals, I've got like 3 to 5 minutes recovery that I'm doing more slow running in. So how am I building up that 20% of my fast stuff? Like, you need to be doing more fast stuff than you think. That's like number one. Like, everyone's going down the route of, oh, just run slow to run fast. Like, no, run fast to run fast, and then run slow to build your base. Like, yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is still about strength training. Like, people saying that, oh, it's just how they approach strength training. So they're either anti-strength training, being like, oh, you don't need it to be a good runner. No, you don't need it, but it's going to help, especially if you're not naturally a good runner. Like, I know some fucking amazing runners that don't strength train. Would they be a bit more resilient if they did strength train? Probably. Do they need it? Probably not, because they're quite naturally good at it. Are you those people? Probably not. Strength training's going to help. And then it's like, if they are into strength training, they just do it wrong. And it's just, they're doing like too many reps and they're not going heavy enough. Like, if you want to be more robust, you have to make yourself more robust. You don't do that by doing 3 sets of 20 squats with a light kettlebell. Like, that's fuck all, really.
I suppose you're not getting stronger.
No.
You're not.
You'll build a bit, because if you haven't done it, doing anything is going to help. But are you maximizing what you could do? Like, I think minimum effective dose. I want to be in the gym for as little as I can and get the most results out of it. So I'm like, right, heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, things like that. Plyometrics, great. Things that are going to have like the most transfer and you can spend minimal time doing it. And then I spend more time in the gym because I enjoy being in the gym. So then I'm doing like Olympic lifts because they're fun. I then do upper body stuff because I want to be good all round. I want to be able to go and do rock climbing if I want to. I want to go and compete in a high rocks without any specific training. Like, I want to turn up and do stuff. So I spend more time in the gym just because it's fun. You don't need to spend that long in the gym. And it doesn't have to be like fucking million different circuits. And yeah, just do the basics well.
I like it. No, I've always seen, have you ever seen people go from strongman or powerlifting and then into running, and they adapt so well, but I'm yet to see anyone go from running into strongman and do well at that.
Yeah, I've been a lot recently, and a lot of it is because they've just got that robustness to them, so they can handle the forces of running. Like, if you've got a really good squat, your tendons and ligaments and muscles can cope with really small repetitive motions, because it's like, oh, this is like fuck all force compared to what we're used to. But then, yeah, take a runner into a gym and they have no idea what they're doing.
They'll crumble. Let's talk about, where were we? Before the ultras and the tyre flipping, who were you as an athlete before you got into these mega challenges? Because you weren't necessarily a runner at all, and now you've gone straight in and you're podiuming races. What were you before that? What were you before that?
I mean, when I was growing up, I hated sport. Like, I literally hated sport. I would be that kid that would write notes in his little diary to give to the teachers to be like, oh, Will's injured today, he can't do PE. Like,
was it signed Dad?
Yeah. Just really shittily forged notes. Yeah. And I was just like, can't do PE today. I hated it. I'd often forget my kit. I was always like kind of active. Like, I'm from quite an active family, so I'd cycle to school. That was more because I think my parents made me. They were like, we don't want to keep driving you. Like, fucking make your own way to school. So I was like,
I'm fed up for taking you.
All right, it's only 6 miles away, sure. Yeah. So I cycled to school and back, and then you'd end up just like cycling with your mates and pissing about. So I did that. Other than that, like, I really wouldn't do exercise. I hated it. I would go to the library. I was really into gaming. I liked my gaming. People that know me now are like, you can sit still and concentrate for long enough to play a game. I'm like, no, I can't now, but I used to. And And then I started doing some martial arts because I was really into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
So that got me into martial arts. I was doing all right at that. And then I gave up doing it because I didn't really have that many friends doing it. Like I was the youngest in the class. There was me and like one other guy. We were the only teenagers sort of doing it. Everyone else was adults. When it got to the point where I was the same belt as my instructor, and then I was like, you're not really teaching me anything. Then I'd help him teach the classes. And then I was like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Then I got into free running. That's where it all sort of clicked for me. I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, actually, about how parkour and free running is the best sport that you can do to build an athletic base for anyone. Like if you want to get, especially your kids, if you want to get your kids athletic as they're older, I can get them into parkour and free running.
What's parkour, isn't it? It's where you're jumping over bollards and walls and yeah.
Jumping across buildings, climbing stuff. It's got a bit of everything. Jumping. The thing that separates it from gymnastics, because everyone's like, oh, just do gymnastics. Like it's much more structured. And I'm like, it is much more structured, but that's what takes away from the athletic ability in a way, because then you're so used to things being at the same all the time. Whereas with free running, it's more adaptable, and then you're also, there's more of that social aspect because you're always out with your friends doing it usually, and then there's the reactivity, there's all the stuff that's off angle. Gymnastics is all very linear, whereas free running is like, well, I'm going to jump there and there, and you're like all over the place, and you've got that reactiveness to it as well. And then there's that auto regulation because you're self-coached. Gymnastics is always coached, it's so structured. Like being a gymnastics coach myself, like when I was coaching, I had like a 4-year plan for my athletes, and it was like, right, these are when we're trying to hit these skills. Obviously things change because life, but you generally know where they're going to be in the next 4 years, where you're aiming for them to go. You can tell their sessions ahead of time. When you do free running, you don't do any of that. It's like, I'm going to go jump on some walls. And then it's like, some days you'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm close to making this jump, so I'm going to keep at it for like hours. Other days within 3 or 4 attempts, you're like, today's not the day. But you learn to auto-regulate your training. And that's something that I didn't fully appreciate that I can do really well from having years of experience of that, whereas most people, especially people that I coach, can't. So I've always told them like, oh, like on the day, see how you feel when you're training, and if you need to like change the weights, you can. And they're like, but this is what's written down, and they can't auto-regulate. Right, and it's really hard. It was always really hard for me to understand, like, why can't you do that? But it makes sense now.
There's a freedom, there's an autonomy that you can choose your session on that day for what you're interested in that day. It's street gymnastics, isn't it? It's on the street, bruv. It's street gymnastics. Like
It's not the thing, because everyone always says it's the same as gymnastics. It's got similar movements, but the whole ethos is the polar opposite. Like it's the counterculture of gymnastics.
Yeah. It reminds me of, it's like a skating culture. It reminds me of the skating culture, just without the skateboard. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, but at what point, or what happened? At what point did you get to where you're like, I want to take this up a notch. I want to challenge myself in different ways, and which sort of led you on to, I know you went into climbing, and then led you on to the tire flipping and the ultras and all this. What changed in you to lead you onto those paths?
I don't think anything really changed per se, but the deeper I got into free running, the deeper I got into, because the culture's changed a lot with free running. Like I'm very old school when it comes to it. Like I like the discipline that it gives you. Like we was talking about the auto-regulation, but then it is like a discipline to it. The roots are very much military and martial arts and things like that. Whereas like these days it's its own thing. And there's not so much of that, and it's a lot more competitive and like a lot more varied. Whereas I liked the old school approach of like, this is how we train. This is the discipline and the values behind it. Like the ethos behind it was amazing to me. And like the sort of founding fathers of parkour, the ones that popularized it, basically turned it into a sport. They had this saying, "Être fort pour être utile," be strong to be useful. and I like it so much I've got it tattooed on me.
Nice.
But that sort of message, whenever I think about why do I train, like why do I like doing the things I do, and it's all about that sort of, well, I want to be able to rock up and do anything at any point. And then that sort of led me into like other styles of training, because I was like, if I can't do this, then what's the point in doing all of this other stuff? Like if I can't turn up to a strongman competition and compete, what's the point? If I can't turn up to a high rocks and compete, if I can't do an ultra marathon without training, like what is the point? So that sort of led me into being more varied in my training and just wanting to be ready for anything at any time. And then that led me into like the fire service, because it's like you have to be ready for your job at any time. You don't know when someone's going to be trapped in a burning building and you've got to lift a fucking burning log off them, or like you don't know when you're going to be hiking up a mountain at 2 a.m. because some fucking little shit set the mountain on fire, and you got to carry
the tree.
yeah, like you don't know, so you just have to be ready for your job. And a lot of people get complacent because life is very safe these days. Like being a firefighter, I hate saying it, it's quite easy. Like these days it really is. It's really hard to get into because so many people apply for so few jobs, but once you're in, you can get lazy because like it's not really life and death most of the time.
Sort of health and safety, I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and like just things are built to not burn like they used to. Like most things that are like all your furniture now is going to have some level of being fire retardant.
Yeah.
Whereas everything used to just be wood, so everything would go up in flames.
Will is moaning that there's not enough fires these days. There's not enough fire. Bring back fires.
No, but like being a firefighter is like... It is really easy. Like I was talking to people that had been in the job for like 10 plus years, and I was like, have you ever been in a life and death situation? No. And it's like, that sums it up. And it's great that it's safe. Yeah. But it makes the job really easy. But then my view was always, but what about that one time where it goes wrong and you're out of shape? And there's a lot, again, I'm slagging people off here. Yeah. There's a lot of out of shape firefighters, and they just do enough to pass the fitness test each year, which isn't that hard. So then it was like, well, like, why are you only at that level? Why do you not see that there could be one day and you might not be ready for that day? That really bugged me. But that's my attitude towards it. And yeah, that's what led me then into the challenges and stuff, because I was like, I want to push this side of it more, like especially after I left the fire service and I wasn't frontline. And then I didn't have that urgency to my training. Well, it was like, well, I need something to, because otherwise I'm like, well, I don't need to be at that level. Like once I left, I was like, I don't need to be there. So how do I then motivate myself to train? Because it's so easy. Like, I'm going to skip today. Like no one's life's on the line anymore. Yeah, I guess so. Whereas it's now like, well, I've got this big challenge coming up. So it's like, well, I want to be ready for that.
You have to be ready. You have to be ready. Well, let's talk about your first. This is probably one of your first big challenges, or maybe one of the most well known recently, was the world record tyre flip, right? So what was it? You were aiming to flip a massive 50 kilogram, 100 kilogram tractor tyre for a world record for the longest distance. Was it a marathon? That was your target.
I was very ambitious with this, overly ambitious, but I knew I was going into it. But again, this is where it really started with the whole social media thing and me getting sucked into it, because I said that because I was like, this will get clicks. The world record for flipping a tractor tire in 24 hours was 6.7 miles, I want to say, at the time, or currently still is. And then I was like, well, I'm going to beat that, and I want to keep going until I hit a marathon. And I was like, yeah, that'll get clicks. Like everyone can relate to a marathon. In my head, I was already justifying, if I do a half marathon, that's already more than the world record. And I don't care if I do it in the 24 hours, I will just keep going until I've done a half marathon. And that's still like, oh yeah, like you didn't do the big goal, but that's got me all these followers and likes and sponsors and shit like that, but I've still done this like pretty cool thing. And then I managed to do 6 miles in 15 hours, and then I tore my bicep. So I was well on track for the world record.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up the next day and my body didn't feel fucked. It was literally just my bicep tear. That was the only thing that hurt. And I was like, I really could have kept going if it wasn't for the injury. So that was a fucking piss take. But
What have you learned through that failure that you wouldn't have learned through success? Did you take anything from that? Any lessons?
I don't think I did at the time. I went into a bit of a dark place again after that, with my mental health, because that was the first time I really said I was going to do something and didn't do it. And that bothered me, and it's still in the back of my mind, that tyre flip. But now I think, it's coming back to all the things I'm thinking about recently, where it's like, why did I want to do that in the first place? Was it because I wanted to do this big challenge? And like, I did want to do it. I said I was going to do that challenge before I announced it, before it was a big thing, before I'd even done my other challenges before that. That was on my list, but making such a big deal out of it, that was because it was like, well, I feel like I have to, because this is my job and I'm trying to fundraise and I want clicks and I want subscribers and all of that. And that took away from the joy of the challenge and like why I did it. I started learning now that I don't need to suffer for these challenges to be worthwhile. Whereas I was very much in the thing of, it doesn't matter if it hurts, fucking keep going. And it doesn't have to be fun. You shouldn't be enjoying this. The fact that I was telling myself that I shouldn't be enjoying it, like, yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Bro, like, are you you have to revisit it, surely. Maybe not in the immediate future, but at some point, you got to go back and nail that.
No, I've always said that I will, but again, I'm questioning why. Why do I have to? Like, I gave it a fucking good shot. I did work my ass off for it. I know what I could improve if I ever tried again. But I'm like, there's other things I want to do. Like, why do I want to obsess over something just because I haven't done it? Like, it's okay to try and not do a thing. Like, you know, who cares at the end of the day? Does it make a difference to anyone's life other than mine? No one else gives a fuck.
You've moved on.
Yeah.
You've moved on.
I'm a runner now.
Yeah, you're a runner now. But let's talk about that. So, literally, like a year or two ago, you weren't a runner.
I wouldn't class myself as a runner then. I had run.
Yeah. But you've now entered the endurance running scene, often taking podium places in some of these races, which then led you on to tackling the 6-in-6 challenge, where you were going to tackle 6 ultra marathons in 6 days, like one after another. And these were already organized events that go on in Wales, isn't it? So that you had your route set out. You achieved that. You did that. But what happens to your body after sort of day 3 that nobody warns you about? Did you notice anything? Did anything surprise you going through this hardship that no one had warned you was going to happen?
Yes.
Incontinence.
No, genuinely, most things went really, really well. I remember running on day 3 thinking I was injured. And you can see like my gait's off a little bit. But there's a video of me finishing day 3. So I'd done 40 miles day 1, 30 miles day 2. I was doing the next 40 miler, which is around this way actually. That's the one Penarth to is it Porthcawl to Penarth? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Whichever way round it is. I always get confused. Too many P's.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So yeah, it was on that one. And there's a video of me finishing it, and it's like an ever so slight uphill, but once you run that far, like you notice an uphill. And I was running, like running, like faster than a lot of people can run. not like trying to brag or anything, but like you can see like there's a decent stride there because it's the last like 200 meters. So it's like, yeah, I'm going. And I knew that there was someone there videoing and that it was being sent to ITV Wales.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I got
flying.
But like, I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I'm injured, but I wasn't really injured. I got really injured on day 5. And then I was like, okay, this is the difference between being injured and being injured. But like most things went really well. Like I was sleeping good. I was, eating enough. Nothing really came out of the blue. When I got injured, the days got slower. So I went from doing like, I don't know, like a 7-8 hour 50k to like a 15-16 hour 50k.
Doubling it.
Yeah, because I was walking a lot because I was fucked. I would still try and run, and I was still hitting some like decent paces, but they would be very short bursts, and then I'd lie down afterwards. So like most of that went really well. I was having quite a bad mental health spot going into the challenge anyway, and my sleep was all over the place. So I was going into it probably like quite sleep deprived. On the last day, I kept having to have trail naps, so I would just lie on the floor, and there's so many pictures of me just lying, looking like a dead body, but then all the people that are running with me, like crouched down around me like I'm a campfire or something. Countless pictures of that. But then after the challenge finished then, my brain would just switch off as if I'm still doing the challenge. So I remember the night I got back and someone had run me a bath. So it was there ready. And I get home, I get in the bath and I'm lying back and I put my head on the back of the bath and I close my eyes for a minute. And I get up in a panic thinking that I've got up from a trail nap and I jump out the bath as if I'm going to go running. And I'm drying myself off like, fuck, I'm running. And then I'm like, why would I dry myself off before a run? I was like, oh, I'm home. Like, relax. And then the next day I went to work and I did a spin class, and after my spin class I went to the shops and I was getting a lift back because I couldn't drive because I was injured, like I was on crutches. And as I'm walking from Aldi back to work, which is literally like 100 meters, like it's really not far, at some point my brain switched into running mode, and the next thing I know I'm running down the cycle path, turning around asking my crew who aren't there for my poles. And I'm in like fucking slippers because I can't put normal shoes on because my feet are so swollen. Jeez. And I'm like, where's my poles? And then I'm like, oh, they don't know where I am. Oh, I haven't started my watch. So I start my watch because that was my live tracker. And I was like, oh, they've just lost me because they haven't got my live track. So I turn that on and I keep running and I bump into someone and I basically had like a mental breakdown because they were like, what are you doing, Will? Like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm running. And they're like, are you okay? And I was just like, I don't know where I am. Like I didn't recognize anything and I had to go get picked up and I didn't recognize the person picking me up or anything. Like it was, a bit of a...
Sounds like you were absolutely battered, like exhausted, PTSD maybe, like from it all. You've just driven yourself into the ground when you weren't in a good place anyway. And you're going to have some funny symptoms like that. All sorted now? Like, you know where you are? You know, you don't have to run off now.
No, I'm not just going to get up and start running.
Oh, thank God for that. You train across a lot of disciplines. Strength, plyometrics is a big one that I see that you do that other people don't. Endurance running. What's the hidden link most people miss between all these types of training? Or what's the one thing that people aren't doing which they could really bloody benefit from?
It's all just training. Like it's just fun at the end of the day. It's really just the Russians got like a program, GPP, General Physical Preparedness. So it's basically what I like doing is you just show all of these athletic qualities and then you specialize later, or like I try and specialize when I'm doing a challenge. So if I'm doing a running challenge, everything comes back a bit and my running goes up a bit, but I still try and maintain it all. If I then want to do a high rocks, I know within like, if I wanted to do well in a high rocks, maybe 4 weeks of training, I would see like a significant improvement because I've got the base there because I just do everything year round. and then I just specialize a bit more and be like, okay, I'll do a few more intervals, like 1K intervals, do some more speed work, and I'll do the specific stations, figure out what my weaknesses are, and just double down on them for 4 weeks, and then that puts me in a really good spot.
Yeah.
No one does that. Like,
if you stay ready, you never have to get ready, right?
Yeah, and it's the Russians just do it. Like, and it's probably bad comparing it to the Russians and the Chinese, because what they'll do is they'll train all of the kids like that, and then when they get to a certain age and they can start seeing like, oh, their frame is built for rugby, or they're getting really tall, they'll be good at basketball, then they take them out of that and then they specialize them for that sport. And it's like, it's a really good system. Like, if you want elite athletes, it's probably not the most ethical, but it's for getting top level, and that's why they do so well.
Don't forget the juicing program as well. Yeah.
But like, when you look at how they just train in general, like, there is a lot of just general physical preparedness, especially in Russia, where it's just like, we want to train all of these qualities, and then when you get older, you can go off and specialize, and that's what free running gave me. I had like all of the athletic qualities. I could run, I could jump, I could absorb force, I could produce force, I could change directions really quick. I became really agile. And it's like, now that I'm older and I'm like, well, I want to go rock climbing. It's like, well, I can. I've got that base. Oh, I want to do Olympic lifting. And even if it's something really new to me, like, because the way that my brain works processing movements, I've got lots of things that I can draw inspiration from. And I'm like, oh, this is a similar movement. Like, doing an Olympic lift is very similar to doing a jump. So I learned it quite quickly because I'm like, oh, like, this feels the same. So you just make those connections and then you learn quicker because it's compared to something you've already done. Whereas someone that hasn't trained before, trying to teach them to Olympic lift, and they can't remember the last time they did a jump, because how many people jump these days? It's like they find it really hard, and it's like, well, I can learn things quick because I've got this awareness of my body, and I don't think enough people do that.
Do the other stuff. Because you've, as we said, you've come onto the endurance running scene. You're doing really bloody well, winning second place, third place, whatever you get in.
I mean, I've never won anything.
You're not one, but podiuming, right? You're getting up there. You're in and you've come from. What is it about your training? Can you pinpoint the types of training that other people aren't doing that has enabled you to come into this? Because I'd imagine a lot of people just run, right? You do the strengths, you do the plyometrics. Do you feel that that's given you a massive benefit, that it's made it easier for you to just sort of waltz in and pick up those trophies?
Well, the strength stuff has made me robust, so I can handle upping my load very quickly, whereas most people can't. So I could go from nothing to running an ultra. Like I said, when I started, I would get injured. And then I did the same thing for my next two ultras, but I would be less injured each time because I'd built more of a base each time, even though I didn't train for my first three ultras at all, really. And then my third one was last year. So I've gone from 3 over a 5-year period and getting injured after each one to I'm on 22 ultras this year now. So like, the jump's been massive, but I can make that jump because of my strength training. I've got that base, so I get injured less. When I get injured, I can recover quicker, and I don't just like not do stuff when I'm injured. Like, a lot of runners, when they're injured, they're like, well, I can't run, so I'm just gonna not run. And it's like, well, I've got all these other things that I enjoy doing that I can go off and do, and I'm still active. I've still got my fitness. I'm not losing anything by not training. And then I can just jump back in when I'm ready. So that's like one aspect. I'm really good at rehab. I've been injured so much, like I've got it nailed. Like, people come to me for
that's what we call it, yeah.
Well, people come to me for injury advice, and then they'll go and see their physios, and then they'll be like, oh, this is like, my friend or my coach has planned this for me. And then the physios, like, I've never had bad feedback from the physio being like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's always been like, oh no, that's really good, stick to doing that. And then they haven't given anything else because they're like, you've got it covered. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm happy with that. So like, my rehab process is literally, and that's just from years of being injured and doing it myself. And then realizing how important it is to stick to, because it's so common. You just get bored of it. And it's like, I'm doing this banded exercise for my ankle again. And then you're like, oh, I'll just stop doing it. It's, not helping. But then because I've been through it and I've seen the benefits so many times, I'm like, cool, I'm going to be religious about this. And it's how I went from after the 6, for example, I was on crutches for a month. Then I was off crutches for a week. Well, the day I came off crutches, I did the Welsh Three Peaks. Not the Abergavenny Three Peaks. So I did that. So that's not an easy day out. And then a week later, I did the Ridham again as the actual event, and I came top 10. And I was a week off crutches. So it's like, yeah, I could feel the niggle, but I was like, it's not getting worse. So I'm not damaging it more. I just have to put up with the pain and know that it's not getting worse, and then I can still perform. So there's that, and plyometrics. Like, no one does plyometrics. They're great. No one does plyometrics. They're amazing. And everyone's like, oh, I look like an idiot. Look like an idiot. When you get out on the trails and you're racing, like, you'll thank yourself.
I see you bounding around everywhere in your little on your Instagram reels and stuff like that. I'm like, there must be something in that, because you're doing so well in the running.
Yeah, but it's also I like doing it. Like, it is fun. But like, I've got clients. I had a client who was doing the slam, and she couldn't run for the last month of the slam because she was dealing with this injury. She had this injury since before she came to me. And then it was like, well, you signed up mid-slam, so we just got to get through the races, and then we're going to tone back your running and focus on recovering. But for now, because you've got this goal, we just have to, it's like important to you, so we will just sacrifice a bit of our health for it. And that's okay. I think everyone does that, but it's like being aware of it that people don't do. But like the last month, we didn't do any running at all, no speed work. And we just did strength training, and she was happy with how she felt on the day, because she was like, I haven't run for a month and I feel like I'm going to be really shit at running, but I wasn't actually that bad. And I'm like, yeah, it's because you've been doing strength stuff. Yeah, like, it helps.
Wasting away. You're not sat there atrophying, your muscles. You're sort of keeping them going. I like it.
And then I've got another client who everyone knows, Dan Morgan, Plod TV, does every fucking race under the sun.
Wheels. That's what he says, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's on a plan with me now, and I've got him doing more plyos than I do because he loves it as well. But he's seeing the benefit because he'd never really like done them as structured as I've given him. Same with his strength work. That now when he's doing these races, he's like, that's the best I felt after a race. And he's like, I could push more, but like I was having my fun bus. But he's like, now I feel like there's more in the tank, and he wants to like explore that a bit more. And that's really exciting for me because he's known for doing like these incredible challenges of like the Dan Slam. Like, it's literally named after him. Like, he does the Pegasus Slam with the 200 miler, with the 100 milers. Then he goes off to Canada to do a 200 miler all in a year. And it's just like, he's known for that. So for him to be training with me and then being like, I can really see a benefit from what you're doing with me, I'm just like over the moon with that.
Yeah, no, he's done really well, to be fair. He's done really well. Last question though, Will. I'll end on this. What's the lesson from all your challenges and all your training that you carry through to into everyday life?
It's probably something that I'm battling with myself a lot recently. And it's super simple, but I really struggle with it. Don't take it too seriously. And like, I think that's been like the theme of this podcast, right? Is I've been like, don't think too much, just fucking get out and do it. And like, set yourself these goals, but don't obsess over them. Don't get too caught up in the hype around them. Don't go out and do it for you. And just, yeah, it's the same with life. Just like, do what you want to do. Like, don't take it too seriously. And I struggle with that. Like, I struggle a lot with my mental health. And I'm really struggling at the minute. And I have to keep reminding myself, like, it's not that deep. Like, I get paid to do the shit that I'm doing. And I've got this reputation of, like, being this like person that just gets to go off and have these adventures. My brand is called Adventure Athletes. And then I'm at home like stressing, being like, oh, I've got bills to pay. And it's like, I can always get a job. Like if I wanted to, I can go out and get a job and stack shelves in Tesco's or whatever. Like if I really cared about money, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now, but I probably wouldn't be as happy. Like I wouldn't get the opportunities I get. Like I've got so many stories from this year, from quitting like a full-time job to doing this full-time. And I'm like, at some point, it's probably going to fail and I'm going to have to give it up and do something a bit more serious. And then I'll be looking back at this and being like, what a fucking year that I've had, or like 2 years or 5 years, however long this might last. And then I'll be annoyed at myself for taking it too seriously when I'm in it and being like, oh, I'm stressed about this. Oh, I got to deal. Fucking shut up and get on with it. Like, you'd live in the dream, really.
Yeah, man.
Like, I feel privileged.
I like that. No regrets either, because imagine you didn't try. You didn't have a bash. You didn't have a go. You'd regret it so much looking back on. That was my time. And then, as you said, like, and then you did try it, and you're like, oh bloody, I was miserable all the time because I was moaning about everything. No, bloody, just don't take it too seriously. Yeah, you will. I like that. Don't take it too seriously.
Like when I look back over the past year, I've done so much. Like so much that I, not just in my challenges and in my ultras and stuff, but like for other people as well. That's what's like really important to me, is like, I think you need the thing for yourself, but you need the thing for other people, what you do for others, whether that's the podcast, me going out and supporting other people's events and being their crew, or like arranging day trips for people and doing the fucking Welsh Three Peaks, Abergavenny Three Peaks, doing like community hikes and organising to go to Ninja Warrior and shit like that. It's like, they're all like, you stress about them in the build-up and like, oh, I got to do this, and oh, why did I agree to this? And then you look back and you're like, they had an amazing time, and I really enjoyed being there and helping them with it, and I'm getting paid to do it. And it's like, why the fuck am I stressed? Like, yeah. And I think, people just need to put their life into perspective and just be like, if you look back on your life, what bits are you remembering? Do more of that.
Yeah. It's simple, really, isn't it? It's simple, really. Will, where can people follow you? If they want to follow your journey, if they want to get you as a coach, where are you going to direct them?
So Adventure Athletes website, just Google Adventure Athletes, will come up. Got the podcast, we've got my training Instagram account, got my personal Instagram account. Too many accounts. I get overwhelmed by social media and messages and stuff. But I love helping people, so it's like the payoff. I'd love to go off grid, but that's not how business works, unfortunately. If anyone wants to just pay me to run, actually, I got to do this just on the off chance that it could happen. I'm looking for sponsorship right now. Very specific sponsorship. You're going to love this. Yeah. I want to be sponsored by a pickle brand.
Right, okay.
I've since the 6th, I love gherkins. I eat them out the jar now, and it's so good for ultras, like drinking the pickle juice.
The brine.
Yeah. I didn't know this was a thing. You hear like Americans do it and whatnot, and I was like, nah, surely. And then on day 5 of it, I was like, I want some pickles, like getting the electrolytes and everything back in. It is really good fuel. And I'm sat there in my like delirious state trying to get pickles out the jar, and I couldn't be bothered anymore. So I pick up the jar and I just drink out of it. It's like a shot. It's better than electrolyte drinks, 100%.
I see it all the time on the Facebook groups and stuff. They're always banging on about pickles.
Well, so if you ever have stomach issues, drink some. It will settle your stomach.
Yeah.
Honestly, best thing you can do, full of electrolytes, things like that. It's great, and it tastes amazing. Better than fucking those little chews or whatever. No thanks. I'll have a pickle.
And it's cheap as chips.
Yeah.
Like a big jar, £1.50 or something. Yeah. So
I'm on a mission to get sponsored by a pickle brand, and I will run 100-miler dressed as a pickle, eating only pickle flavored things, or like things where pickle is a main ingredient in it, drinking only pickle juice out of my flasks.
This is your next big challenge. It's Rockman exclusive. The pickle 100 miler. Okay.
Any pickle brands out there that want to sponsor me, give me a shout. Like, I am so up for it.
Will, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. It's been a great chat, and we'll follow you and catch up soon.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the episode. If you found value in it, please leave us a review or drop us a comment below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video next, so click there. Go on, give it a click.